Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are starting a series on Assassin's Creed Revelation. So this is the third game in the Ezio trilogy, and in all honesty, I don't remember where we are. Like, hopefully there is a recap. I believe we may have, in the present time, stabbed the lady that we were working with in all of the Assassin's Creed games up to this point, because the ancient aliens knew she was actually a Templar spy. I think that's where we are. I'm not really sure. In a weird way, it kind of doesn't matter from what I recall, because nothing in this game really changes much or does anything. It's really just a stall until the main story goes forward in Assassin's Creed 3, which effectively that's what both Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which was good, and Revelations are stalls for the story for them to sell 2 more games before they came out with Assassin's Creed 3, and then when we play Assassin's Creed 3 we'll address that issue. I'm gonna have the spoken language as English, subtitles on, and subtitle language English, and it's nice that they have menu language. I turned up the graphics to the highest. This game is probably old enough to handle that. It is worth pointing out that this game is a Uplay game, like all Ubisoft games of the time, and I think even still to this day. So there was Ubisoft points and dollars I had to spend to unlock some things. Multiplayer is a completely different executable, and the controls don't work, and it doesn't seem like it recognizes a controller, an Xbox One controller at all. But there's nobody also playing multiplayer, so it's buying this game today, discount that right in your head. You probably get the extras with the content. However, if you buy this on Steam like I did, you have to come into this specific point and then type in a 16-character code, I believe. You can't copy and paste it, and so you probably need a secondary monitor or to print out the codes from Steam to put them in to get the Ancestors character pack, the Mediterranean Traveler map, and the Lost Archives. This is not, however, the DLC for the Uplay store. This is other DLC. In fact, this whole game is full of DLC. The Lost Archive, another element that maybe the archive came as part of the main game. And no, it's its own executable too. So let's go back to the main menu, because I don't even know if that is going to be viewable. So yeah, we'll look at what the Lost Archive is later. I just don't want to spend too much time on setup. I kind of hope I don't get too OCD in this game. I am recording content now at 30-minute chunks, but I think in this instance we'll probably do at least 45-minute, if not hour-long chunks, because this game can be very long. We'll just go with Desmond. I don't see any reason to change.
We can keep him like this for a few days, maybe a week.
Call ahead. Tell him we're on our way.
So,
as soon as we're clear.
You were under control of the ancient alien.
Your life has changed so much in so little time. 2 months ago, you were pouring shots for bankers and celebrities. But now look at you. You're an assassin. One of us. One of the good guys. Isn't that nice? Men and women dedicated to protecting and preserving human life and liberty.
So it's only been a couple of weeks in the story, but it's been years
drunk on power,
that these games have been released.
We're doing our best
so
to stop.
You would have gotten to this point probably 3 years after the first game.
But you remember all this, right? You remember the Animus, the machine we used to unravel genetic memories and relive the lives of our ancestors? First, you were Altair, a stoic 12th century assassin from the Holy Land. Then you are Ezio Auditore, a wealthy
And they're
Italian
still
with
having to
charisma and a
explain
talent for
things because
revenge.
it's such a complicated plot.
So, what do you three have in common? That's right, the Apple of Eden. That strange artifact left behind by those people. The ones who came before. You know the apple's power. You felt it for yourself. Oh, it's been fun, hasn't it, Desmond? But that's about to change. Your mind is fragmented, falling to pieces. And if you don't find a way to wake up, you may lose yourself. Forever.
Okay, I shut down the Animus monitoring system to free up a lot of memory, but even like this, it's still risky.
Desmond will be fine. The partition worked, the Animus is stable, and his signs are good.
For now. But this was built to recreate memories, not simulate entire cognitive processes.
The Animus will do its part, and Desmond will do the
This
rest.
sounds like the voice of the actor who played Q in Star Trek The Next Generation. I didn't even know he was in this game. So you're basically locked in the Animus, and you stay, I think, locked in the Animus for this entire game. So there's no real world place to jump around. Instead, you get this island of memories. Honestly, you could have told this recap a little bit better, and hopefully the graphics are glitching out intentionally because of where I am and not because of the game being glitchy. We hopefully haven't hit that point. Like, you could have started the game in this island and then done bits of that recap. Let's see. Well, when I pause, it's not glitching, but that doesn't really mean anything. If anything, this whole game could be glitchy intentionally. Well, the glitches stopped then, and I'm not saying them.
Just walk right past me.
16?
No, they didn't tell you my name.
We've never even seen this character.
Damn it, I'm still in the
So how would
Animus?
you recognize him?
Quite a shock you suffered out there.
Rebecca!
We may have seen like a
Get me outta
picture of
here.
him.
They can't help you, Desmond. You're a broken man. Your mind, it's broken.
Broken. I feel fine.
So did I. Look at me now. Let's talk, buddy.
I don't know if it'd be a smart move to touch him.
Walk with me.
What is this place?
It's nice, isn't it?
So let's go ahead and look at the graphics. Something here is not working. Like, the only things I really could imagine turning down is like the multi-sampling and the post effects.
We're in the guts of the Animus. The original test program. No memories
Like,
here.
this should not be
Physics.
glitching like this. I'm pretty sure. Multi-sampling didn't do anything, so let's post effects.
Weather simulations. Hello, world.
Interesting. Let's just turn everything off. Environment quality down to the lowest. This will be an interesting experiment, but also it's like not what you want to have to deal with at the beginning of a game.
You're lucky someone up there had the sense to plug you in here. It saved your life.
Saved it from what?
Like,
Right
it's
now,
still
you should be sitting in
glitching.
a hospital ward, drooling and chewing on your tongue. For now, the Animus is keeping you intact, keeping all your ancestors from collapsing into one big mess. But if you can't find a sync nexus, all those personalities will smash together. That won't be pretty.
A
And
sync nexus.
I'm trying
getting
to
there. Hold
walk
on.
forward. and it's not letting me. Like, I must have been so far off the physics. The game shouldn't be this buggy. And this is the beginning, so... Like, the only thing I could imagine is let's struggle through this to the end of the next area, see if it loads in a different area and fixes it. Otherwise, maybe it'll checkpoint, and if it checkpoints, then I can exit out the program. It's not until really Unity that we started to see massively buggy Assassin's Creed games, just unacceptably buggy, but I've run into something here clearly. It's only letting me take one step before it's determining that I'm going the wrong way. Like all of the ground. And see, this is just too buggy for what would have been something. And also, if it was supposed to be glitchy, these cutscenes would be showing these glitches.
Is your way out.
You're screwing with me.
Here's the problem. Your brain is hash. Too many ghosts in your head, too many voices. So how do you fix that? You claw your way back into the stored data, you find unfinished memories, and you crack them open. Finish what you started, until your ancestor has nothing left to show you. That is a sync nexus. And when you find it, the Animus can separate Desmond from Ezio and Altair and send you home. Back to your body.
How do you know all this?
Because it happened to me. But my body, it's worm food now. So I'm stuck here. A word of warning, when you step through there, everything changes. Nothing feels normal.
In a weird way, you could have had this been the intro of the first game.
If you hurry, you might make it back.
And then you wouldn't have had to.
What?
You wouldn't have had to have any of the modern day story.
I thought you knew.
Lucy. Oh God. I'm so sorry. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was that voice. Juno. She took hold of me. She made me. What am I doing?
I don't feel like this character model of Desmond is anywhere close to the original character model of Desmond also. So we've hit a checkpoint. And that didn't reset it.
It's Sean. Sean, what's going on?
Let me talk to him.
Did you... Hold on, I'm putting you on speaker.
Sean, it's William. Is everything...
And we get our late intro, and hopefully that'll fix things. Ubisoft is... This is really their downfall of a series. Like, at the time when this came out, I think people were moderately happy with or had never heard of Ubisoft. But by annualizing and every year coming up with a new Assassin's Creed game that was a little bit more buggy, a little bit more of a stretch.
Claudia, my dearest sister.
Less of
I have been in Acre
important,
a week now,
well-written
safe
storytelling, and more of just a way to
the men and women who have fed and sheltered me here
drain
also give me
people's
warning
wallets.
that the road to Masyaf
It made the
is
company
overrun by
feel
mercenaries
greedy
bandits,
and
not native
lazy
to this land.
with
What
poor
this could
quality
mean,
games.
I dread to guess.
Now,
When I first set out
arguably,
from
this
Roma
isn't
10
the
months
worst
ago,
game in the
I did so
Assassin's
with a
Creed
single
series.
purpose: to discover what our father did not. In a letter written the year before my birth, he makes mention of a library hidden beneath the stones of Masyaf Castle. A sanctum full of invaluable wisdom.
So, really, they
What
should have
will I
just
find
started
when I
the
arrive
story
there?
here.
Who will greet me?
We
A
have
host of eager Templars, as I fear most
Ezio.
strongly. Or nothing but the whistling of a cold and lonely wind. Masyav
this
has
is an
not been home to
older
the
Ezio.
assassins
This is
for
the end
almost
of his
300
story.
years
You can
now.
see he's got this gray
Can we
beard.
still claim it for our own?
This is after
we
he's
welcome
rebuilt the Assassin's Brotherhood,
I am wary of this fight, Claudia.
and he's going back
Not because I am tired,
to the castle
because our struggle
of
seems to move
Altair's
in one
time.
direction only,
looking for
towards chaos.
information,
Today, I have more questions than answers.
like a secret library.
This is why I've come so far. To find clarity.
There's Altair getting
Find the
slightly
wisdom left
referenced.
behind by the great Altair. So that I may better understand the purpose of our fight. And my place
The
in
Great
it.
Altair is interesting because, like, right now that they've done Assassin's Creed Origins, they've kind of undone
Anything
the
happened to me,
importance of
Claudia,
any of the previous
should my
Assassin's
skills
Creed
fail
games.
me,
In
or
fact,
my
there's
ambition
really
lead
no
me astray.
reason, I think, at this point to
Not
play
seek
any of the old
retribution or
games,
revenge
other
in my
than
memory,
just
but
jumping
fight to continue the
into
search
Origins
for truth,
first, and
so that all may
then
benefit.
playing,
My story is one of many thousands.
then maybe playing Assassin's
world
Creed
will not
Brotherhood,
suffer
and
if it
maybe
ends too
Assassin's
soon.
Creed 1. Like, but 3 you could clearly skip. Black Flag probably isn't worth playing later on, but none of them really connect now to Origins, so you're just playing them for nostalgic or retrospective reasons. And with Origins being the character who apparently started the Assassins, Altair stops being this respected elder who's the greatest of the great, and instead it's the new character in Origins. Alright, so we've made it this far. We're in a completely different area, and we've got to quit. Like, exit the entire application and see what in the world is going on and what caused these glitches. Let's see. My Windows 10 fall update just happened, so it's possible that that's part of the problem. I mean, it really could be anything. But one of the things that the fall update is doing is it's stopping programs from accessing the internet unless you approve it all over again, I think. So if you'd already approved something to access the internet, now you can't. Now you have to say yes, approve again, which caused a pop-up to happen when we launched the Lost Sector. So back to graphics. We still have everything at the lowest. We're not going to keep it there, but let's go back, and we've already done 1% of the game and we've gotten nowhere. Well, that didn't fix it. So it would be kind of nice to be able just to rage quit some Assassin's Creed games. I'd still probably stupidly end up purchasing all of them, but the truth of it is I could see not playing or covering anymore. That would certainly help me. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe we have a dots per inch compatibility issue. Let's see. Override the DPI scaling for the application. That's already enabled. Disable full screen optimizations. Run as administrator. Reduce. Let's see. And we may just have to take a break here because this flickering. Let's see, as we're supposedly launching the game. Looking on the Steam discussion board. Need to find the system detection DLL from the game paths. What? Ridiculous. Wow. I'll try it. Let's load back in here one last time. We already know it's not gonna work. So we should be playing a game right now, and instead we are doing busy work. That is really, really stupid. Alright, it says that there's a program called System Detection DLL somewhere. From the game path. I don't see something called system detection in this game path. Let's see if it's under a subdirectory and just search for it. Yes, there is. It's under, let's see. So I'll rename that so they can't use it. It's possible that also it's being blocked. No, it's fully digitally signed DLL, so it was being used. And it's under it's under Steam Apps, Common, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Alright. Let's see if this works now. So is that some kind of DRM or some kind of funky thing that doesn't even matter? If the solution is as easy as deleting the file, why is this file available? Why not just not use it? Like, that's an easy patch to delete a file. Clearly I deleted this DLL and it didn't change anything. And now we're not seeing any glitches. That's insane. That is totally insane. So my first thing is always to blame the graphics, because why not? It usually is the graphics that is affecting things. The only thing I don't turn on here is VSync.
Get him, you fools! Kill
There we go.
bastard!
So it's been 25 minutes to get to this point.
I want him dead!
Let's see, right trigger and A for free run. Wow. Interesting, no audio there of when I died and desynchronized. So Since you're the first game in the series, why? Like, why not introduce the? Like, do we really need this tutorial? Like, why not have some of the same tutorial for all the games? I'm not hearing any character audio right now. Like, it feels like he should be saying something every now and then, instead of totally silent. His blade is broken, so he only has one blade. And instead he has one sword that he sheathed into nothing. Press X to attack. Practice this tutorial. See, yeah, if they were gonna just... if they were just going to introduce the same thing we've already learned a couple times. Like, do we really need this? If we just... you've hit that point where you're more likely to play Revelations right after playing Brotherhood and having all of these abilities, which you don't have right now. Like, your Brotherhood is gone, and one assumes that for all of the game you're going to either have a slightly less powerful Brotherhood that you have to rebuild in a different area, or you're going to play alone. I'm surprised I survived that, but also my health is slowly refilling. I don't know what made me jump. Let's see. I'm having a hard time finding the way up. It seems like I'm having to flick the controllers. These controls don't feel like what the old Assassin's Creed games controls were. And having this hologram control in the way is just more trouble than it's worth to watch Altair's image. How Ezio is seeing Altair's abilities is kind of questionable, and because he shouldn't really have that ability unless he's holding on to the apple right now on his belt or some other item, or he's just developed a item that he's developed an ability to naturally see your ancestors when that was not something anybody could do before. Just way too quiet. And so you have to interact with an eagle. I thought you were going to turn the eagle's head or something. So that's the back garden area of the hideout from the first game. And apparently you just need to do that. There was a secret tunnel under there. Did I guess Altair either built this stuff after he defeated the previous Grandmaster? I'm I want to look at the controls just to make sure that there isn't something in here that says different. Like custom controls, controller Xbox One. That's kind of crazy that it knows that, or it can pull that from Windows to know that. And apparently I can't change any of these. Or, like, maybe you'd have to use a mouse? Nope. You can't change the controls of the controller. So you're stuck with whatever they chose. Which, maybe there's some way in Windows you could adjust that, but not directly. So right trigger will be run. A will be jump, which is, I have no problem with that. B will be grab. Air assassinate. Press left trigger to lock onto your target and press X to air assassinate them. So this first one I'm not close enough to. And so let's jump over here. Like the left trigger is not working at all. And I had this same problem with the multiplayer, where the controls were very awkward. But to be fair, those controls were super awkward. These guys have these little red bars on top of their heads that seem to indicate that they are the lowest of the low as far as health. I guess I can assume that. We could start looting bodies. Like throwing knives are full. Terracottas, impact shells. I feel like you might very well just lose everything. Let's hit the D-pad and see if we can. Okay, so yes, on the left on the D-pad you use health. This is the way. Not exactly the way we came. So this is very possibly the way we're going to leave. And so, over what has been decades, people have been trying to break into this library, the Templars have, and they haven't succeeded once. And then they want me to talk to this guy instead of assassinate him, which is kind of new to an Assassin's Creed game.
Be merciful, please. I am a working man with a family.
Doing what kind of work?
Digging.
This is like the first time he's talked.
To find this chamber, and for the past 3 months, I've been trying to break through this door.
You've not made much progress.
I have not made a dent. This stone is harder than steel.
I doubt you will. This door is guarding objects more valuable than all the gold in the world.
Oh, do you mean gemstones?
There are keyholes here. What are the keys?
These Templars found one beneath the Ottoman Sultan's palace. As for the others, I suppose the little book will tell them.
What book?
A journal of some kind. That ugly captain, he carries it with him wherever he goes.
Go home. Find work with honest men.
Oh, I would love to leave this place, but these men, they will murder me if I try.
Pack your tools.
So now we've got to tail some people, which is not something we particularly want to do too much of, and not something that they've been focusing too much on in Assassin's Creed games. Let's see. Here we have our little spin of a beginning of a mission. I assume that was a checkpoint and not the opportunity to start some kind of side mission that I missed. Here we are, and
The assassin must not get his hands on that book. When we reach Leandros, we will escort him out of the village. You stay behind and make sure we're not followed.
ah, yes, I remember this section. This was actually kind of frustrating. And because I did that, I can't go look around this area. So the idea here is to get around these people, which it probably would have been a lot easier to do if I hadn't done what I had done. I guess it doesn't matter. So, in a very rough way, that was a tail. I tailed them to a specific point. And it's probably insane to be looting these people. Let's see. Like, we've got tons of primary and secondary weapons already equipped. So sometimes the spirals are indicators of sometimes they're indicators of something important, sometimes they're not. They're just
Get down now. Where have I seen?
Here's Ezio's parachute. Templars are gathering. So, how do I use the parachute? I guess you have to hit X. So they want me to kill the Templars in the village, and I think they want me to kill them in a moderately stealthy way. It's kind of strange that there's villagers still in this village and yet Templars are controlling it, but I guess in a real way the Templars are all about finding ways to control. Templar escaped, 8 remaining. So the full synchronization failed, and apparently I didn't even understand what I was supposed to do. Man, the sound effects. There's something weird about the way these sound effects play. Let's see, general, sound effects audio, voice volume. Music. Maybe we'll turn the music down. And like. And running away from these guys doesn't work at all. So can we? And you can't like reset the memory. So I should just let him kill me, really. And I'm at 0 health, and you would think you'd be dead by now, and you're not. It's been a rough way to start a game. And it's still hitting me, and it's still not killing me. It's like, do I need to go full disarmed? Oh man, I accidentally. Let's increase the distance from the target. Good news is so far we haven't seen any.
None of you leave until the assassin is dead. Do you understand?
Ignore me, Kirilo. But he seems to have found us.
Wow. So I skipped that. I doubt I was going to get 100% sync on all the memories anyways, but I totally skipped that section. And then I just walked to where the game was going to move us forward in the story. That was crazy. So we had these elements of vehicle races in some of the previous games. Oh, I'm still controlling the guy. And this is kind of a cool idea, but it's implemented pretty poorly. So I have to press forward to reel myself upwards before it breaks. Which, why wasn't I doing that in the first place? Like, the controller sensitivity feels really off on this. Like, really, really off. It's funny, I don't recall this game having this many problems at the beginning of its game when I played it on the Xbox 360. And I imagine it didn't. That it's just this is a PC port that's not as good as it should be. This would have been right in the era of games getting PC ports, but people not really caring enough about them to do a good job. Whereas now, in 2018, we're in the era of mostly PC ports being almost always as good as the console ports, because the consoles are basically PCs now.
Where are you, bastard?
I can't, like, I can't get up all the way, and I guess that's not what they wanted me to do. They just wanted me to survive. I feel like I'm not really controlling Ezio well at all. I haven't felt like I was controlling them well in the tutorial sections. I didn't feel like I was controlling them well in this special programmed cutscene section. It feels like it's extremely tight controls in a system with not enough. So left stick to steer, and what am I supposed to do? Steer in the direction of an enemy and to deal damage. Well, fine. seems like that's working, but it also seems like this is not the system that's needed. Let's see. Now my health is low, so I'm gonna die and be synchronized. Perhaps it is the fact that in the main game, when we get to that point, Ezio makes a lot of old man sounds, grunting, and well, clearly I'll win now because it checkpointed me and then refilled my health. So maybe in this section they didn't want him to make those kinds of noises as things are going on, but he is just like dead silent, which thematically makes sense, but it's not what I want. I want to hear him go just little things like like whistle something. Maybe just hearing him breathe. Like, I'm already down to health. I don't know what I was running over. So I'm breaking up like crazy. I don't see what makes him damage and what doesn't make me damage. I kind of feel like I should just run forward and avoid these rocky sections. Like, these crashes don't seem like they inherently hurt me, but driving over the rocks seems to. And this is just not Assassin's Creed. It's not that smooth, flowing, wall climbing, assassinating gameplay mechanic that at this point you would expect. There was also horse riding. The assumption is that, well, my assumption is that these elements in this game were leftover elements from a previous game, Brotherhood. Brotherhood was a pretty large... he is knocking me in the rocks, but there aren't even any rocks on his side. So, like, the game is screwing me over. Like, because all I can do is try and knock him into the rocks in very specific spots, and then I'm spending the rest of the time just avoiding it. And I don't care about this sequence at all. I'd just like to skip it. Maybe the lack of tight controls comes from a factor of it could certainly be a factor of the system detection DLL not adjusting the controls. Like, this is not working. There's a bunch of rocks here. I don't want to hit those rocks. I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm just trying to keep myself alive. And the game's not telling me anything. Hey, can we skip this scene if I hit start? No, but I can restart the memory. Let's find out. Let's just try every button. Over here, we can avoid taking damage. And I'm just trying to avoid avoid taking damage. I don't want to get bumped in like that. So I don't want to press too hard into him. I think it's just a level of subtlety where you put him up like this and try and line it up. Let's see, I'm about to die again. And that was close enough. So not even for a second were you supposed to succeed. The game is lying to you about what your goal is.
Stop him! Stop him!
We're in the modern time where bombs exist. And we've gone about 50 minutes now in the setup. I don't want any of this. And see, he hurt his arm, and I think at a certain point he hurts his leg too.
Take your eyes off this road for a moment. Do you understand me? Nothing gets
Just
through.
jumping you from point to point.
Well,
We're introduced to a new Templar bad guy who I don't even think plays a big role. He could be the main bad guy of this game, and I don't even remember enough of this game to tell you. Let's see. Kill at least 5 guards from a haystack. The wounded eagle, the Templar captain. I wish the mouse, by the way, would not show up. That happens in a lot of games. I missed the opportunity to dodge there. The dodge killing and the combos are very important, and he is certainly capable of doing that now. Whereas in previous times he wasn't as good at doing things. Of course, me having 125 assassin bucks, I don't even know what currency that he's picking up now, because they were different currencies for different areas or different games. This is a different city than what we've seen before, but it's not really a city either. It's a what would you call this? It's a sequence section. Notice how the B button just changes for every pixel you're standing over. Way too much setup. The waterfall elevator as an idea is cool.
This used to be so easy.
And see, now you're hearing him talk. Now that he's been hurt. The idea here is for this to be that this is the last hurrah. What is my goal? Of Ezio. That assassins, if they're so lucky, will end up old men and women. Follow the Templar captain's trail. I think the idea, now my left trigger locks. I think the idea here is to not set a alarm off, because there is a decent number of people, although in all realisticness, probably not any real level that mattered. That was not an assassinate from Haybill, by the way. Let's see.
Get him!
Honestly, for as many Assassin's Creed games there are, playing by the rules and playing stealthy doesn't make sense.
Mercenary?
Like, and he has the ability to just stab people before they even see you coming. Like, you can walk right up in front of them and I'm trying to get a health vial because I think that would be helpful, but they're kind of stingy on health. They all have weapons and they all have things to make bombs with, but they don't have any of that. Any health. Alright, left stick. Press left stick to use your eagle vision. Enter the tent or haystack to be invisible to your enemies. Thanks for letting me know. Tent. Where is a tent? I think they might intentionally want me to be. Let's see, can I hit both of these? And he's so quiet, it's like they've got no AI. They're not detecting you at all. Maybe intentionally not giving me health. And apparently I cannot jump up on any of this. Maybe I can't jump at all in this section. We can hide in groups. So right now I think I'm hidden. Oops. Didn't mean to kill a civilian. That was not my goal. I was thinking I would turn around and assassinate the other guy. I'm about to die.
Where's he from? What outlandish gear?
Could it be
And
that
we
you
can
are
just
every
run.
bit as deadly as the legends say? Or am I in charge of an army of drunks swinging sticks? Right this way,
Probably
Ezio.
both.
Nowhere left to run now!
Not for me, and not for you.
Kill that dog! Cut him down!
So, let's see. It's been an hour. We have this inventory item. I don't want to look at it quite yet. It's been a mess. Like, generally the audio and the music, I think the music probably needs to go back up for a while. The graphics seem to be holding up after we did the tweak to fix and debug their own problem. I see no reason not to have all the HUD up for a while, but the controls themselves are still X and Y look sensitivity. You know, I'm gonna try bumping this up, and I usually don't do this, but I think that might very well be helpful. It's just to increase the sensitivity a little bit. database stuff, at a certain point, that'll become important. Map stuff. We're right now in this village tutorials area that doesn't matter. DNA-wise, we're in sequence 1, and we can't really see anything right now. Total synchronization apparently is 3.8%, which seems ridiculous. And yeah, a very bad start, a very slow start for an Assassin's Creed game. It would have been better to, at the very least, cut all the backstory with Desmond to a later point. Or maybe just have a pop-up and ask, have you played the Assassin's Creed games, or would you like a catch-up? Even having like a 5-minute animated movie on the main menu to catch up and just call it the story so far would be nice. Instead, making the player do the catch up and walk through the memory island to then start the game a second time after the late opening doesn't make a lot of sense. And then we have a very slow intro here with Ezio, where I would prefer to have just been able to jump into some faster action and do something, and the whole racing with the carts element could have been completely left on the cutting room floor. Well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to further follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me, gift me a game on Steam. That helps more than running ads. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.